day of our lives in this podcast. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I do know that I'm not wearing a bra and it's cold out, so you're welcome, boys and girls.
Censored.
You're welcome, boys and girls. Welcome to Marital Hate.
I'm Doug.
I'm Stacy.
And it is
cold as
a little chilly here in Florida tonight.
Tit-bit nipply out, kids.
It is 58 degrees. We are not. Thank you for hitting in the head with your zipper, but that's
shit.
That's what bar comes for the far for the scores right here. It is cold out here, folks. I know that some of Massachusetts got some snow yesterday. They're probably like, haha, you guys are getting your just desserts, whatever. But yeah, we just drove home from Cape Coral Parkway in the Jeep with no doors and no roof, and it was chilly.
As many of you know, our friends Don and Jonna.
Every
fucking time I do it. John and Donna are visiting, and we took them to Ford's the other day. They love that shit, so they took us today. Shout out to our pal Izzy. Shout out to Sarah, an unnamed baby, and to our waitress tonight,
Janie,
and
super the bartender, cute. Cindy.
She's not crying. Oh yeah, Cindy, she was awesome. She did the horn for us. Yeah, been to Ford's Garage. I'm not a big fan of the corporate
chain
restaurants, but it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
don't get anything but a burger when you go. Don't be stupid. Don't be like, I'm going to get a salad or the meatloaf.
I got the meatloaf once, and I've been hearing about it for a year and a half.
Yeah, I will say this for a year and a half.
The specialty burger.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about?
Would you like to have the meatloaf at Ford's Garage?
Never. No, not again. It wasn't that good.
Perhaps
I thought it was going to be good. I thought their other stuff was good.
Perhaps
they'd be good
right.
with there.
Perhaps your wife is
right. You're right.
So tell the people that they should listen and only get the
burger. Okay. All right. But you know what? We got a special burger. It was on the specials. And it is it was a delightful burger.
Bacon burger. Bacon
bourbon pile up.
They pile up the bourbon and the bacon, and it's a good time.
And so, they have a deep fried patty of Boursin cheese.
That's never a bad thing.
It's like and then it's got an onion jam on it. It is probably, I think that might be my favorite burger I've ever had there. I've also had the bison burger. I've had the bison burger with brisket on top of it. I've also had the regular burger with brisket on top of it. I've had the blue cheese crumble burger. I've had the estate burger, things of that nature. It's a place for burgers, folks. And we're trying to raise capital so we can open one at Patriot Place because we think that would do quite well.
I think that they're a major restaurant group, and the last thing that they need is us raising capital for them. So we had.
I just like to throw around terms. Go ahead.
We forgot to do we're married, we don't hate each other.
We're married, we don't hate each other.
I'm
we
Stacey,
call it marital hate, et cetera, et cetera.
If you're new here,
some
people are new. Some people are new, and then they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
What is this
that I've just stumbled upon?
What is?
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a podcast for fucked up people. Sometimes we're informative and useful, and sometimes we talk about butt stuff.
Oh, speaking of,
and by we, I mean me. Go ahead.
I don't.
Stuff do you want to talk about?
Well, you had that little word gram.
Oh God, this was fucking hilarious. I sent it to you actually.
I have it. I can pull it up as you talk.
So I have a lot of topics. We're like both completely unprepared and very prepared tonight, so bear with us. But I saw this on someone's fucking wall. I don't remember who it was.
People have seen this type of thing.
And it wasn't cited, so I just want to share this. It's the first 3 words you see define your 2024. If you're watching and following along with us, you're welcome to share what the first 3 words that referred to. So you shared screen, so I can see this piece of pie that you have. And
that pie is for later.
Okay, but that might have been a situation that will get us in trouble. So just be mindful of that in the future.
Yeah.
I
understood.
So we're still figuring this out, kids. And what are we, like 100 and
combined
50?
age?
Yeah, but how many podcasts is this? 150?
149.
Oh, 149. So we're 149 podcasts and still trying to figure this the fuck out. Still are not on enough platforms. Shit, we got to work on. What are you gonna do? Today's not the day. We have company. So So if you, what were the first 3 words that defined your 2024? Because for me, we didn't even tell this part. So if you're new here, as some of you may be, if you're watching the podcast live, you can comment on it. We'll bring your comments up on screen, and everybody kind of shares in. And if you have something you want to share, you don't want us to pull you up on screen, you don't want anybody to know what you're saying, just private message us, text us, whatever whatever it takes. But we have we have a few people that watch the podcast the day after or weeks later or whatever. Actually, one of our favorite haters He might even be a master hater. Is Larry the pool guy?
Larry Pool Guy is good.
No longer our
No
pool
longer
guy.
a pool guy,
Fuck.
so he needs
I
new
loved
nickname.
him. No, he's still Larry the pool guy. He's always Larry the pool guy. When Larry the pool guy has taken over as CEO of Jeep Motorcore, I'm still calling Larry the fucking pool guy.
I technically,
'Cause I love him.
I wish we had another friend named
Don't
Larry.
forget where you came from, motherfuckers.
So Larry the pool guy could be Black Larry, because I think we need to show respect.
He's not Black Larry. He's half Black.
He's
Larry.
half Black Larry. Actually, that would be the better nickname. What's up, half
Yeah,
Black
see,
Larry?
But that's the thing. I would
listen,
love Larry. We're still dying to have you on the fucking podcast.
Yeah,
Pick a day.
yeah.
Just tell us.
Well,
Just tell us when you want to come.
Yeah.
Your schedule is busier than ours. Although we do have John and Donna here this week, Michelle and Art mid next week, and then they're coming on the pod. The Roaming Royals. Shout out to them. Hashtag Roaming Royals. They will be on the podcast next week. But after Wes, and then Wes comes,
and then it's
for like
the
4
holiday
days.
season.
So basically anytime in January. So, if you want to come on the pod sometime in January, seems like a good time. Hopefully it's not fucking cold as balls.
Larry will be gearing up for the Washington's birthday celebration at the Chrysler.
He will be quite pretty. Yeah. And if you need a Wrangler, he's the guy to talk to. I do want to give a shout out. So there's a lot of small businesses in the Cape Coral.
In the Coral.
Thanks. In the Cape of Coral. And so I had a few. So our pal Huddy. I guess we should defer back to this. Let's go back to this and then we'll go from there. Okay. So this is what are the first 3 words that you see that they will define your 2024? And do you think that internet quizzes are real?
Internet quizzes are there.
Like, do you see something on the internet and think that there's any truth to that whatsoever?
I remember one time Ringo Starr took a Beatles quiz. Which Beatle are you? And he got John. So he took a screen grab of it and he posted it and he goes, "This is bullshit."
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think that there's any truth
to internet quizzes?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that there is.
Oh,
and hear me out.
Point counterpoint.
Hear me out. Well, it's gonna be the theme of tonight's show, and most shows that we have, point and counterpoint. John and Paul spent a large portion of their lives together.
Not a large. Well, a large because John only was on the planet for 40 years.
Okay, and how many years was he in the Beatles?
Probably about 8.
Okay, so 8 years. You spend 8 years with someone, you start to resemble one another in various ways. So maybe after all that time, and I'm assuming if Paul posted it on, it
was Ringo.
Ringo posted it on social media. It had been after he had spent a tremendous amount of time with John.
Yeah,
and so maybe they became more and more like.
I got you. I got you.
Picked up some habits.
Well, Ringo didn't feel like Ringo felt like he should be himself.
I think that you can find signs anywhere. I think that everything's connected. I think that we're in a fucking matrix. There's all kinds of crazy shit.
It may have been John's ghost in the machine.
Possible.
Fucking with Ringo.
It's possible.
Just saying.
At this point in my life, I wouldn't discredit anything. So anyway, I'm willing to occasionally entertain an internet quiz.
Yes.
What were the first 3 words you saw?
Oh, I just saw wine, pussy, and penis, because those were the top 3 words. That's all I saw.
So you're gonna drink wine this year?
I don't like wine.
Are you gonna continue to whine about your life? Goddamn whiny bitch.
It's a different kind of wine.
They spelled it with an
and boyfriend. That was the other one I saw. Maybe I'll get me a boyfriend.
3. What are your 3?
I guess it was wine, pussy, and penis, which is pussy and penis were right next to each other. So I just kept reading across.
So wine, pussy, penis.
Apparently.
So you're gonna give me wine and put your penis in my pussy? Is that what you're shooting for?
Apparently, yeah.
Well, is it or is it not your goal?
I don't know I don't really believe. I told you because of Ringo Starr. I don't believe the goddamn internet.
If you don't establish goals, you will never reach them.
That's my goal for next year.
Is what?
Wine you up
and put your penis in my pussy.
Yeah.
You realize I'll do that without any wine.
No, I do that, but I figured if I dedicate the whole year to it, maybe something good will come out of it.
Alcoholism?
Like a baby.
An alcoholic wife? A baby? I don't have a uterus. Maybe you've been drinking too much. Do we have marital hate?
No. I just grabbed the bell for some
Okay.
reason.
Well, I don't know that this is a marital hate point, but it is a disagreement. I just don't even know what to say to you. Well, I did it the first time. I got an answer that was just not. The first time I did it, it got nachos. I'm not that big on nachos. They're fine, but whatever. Friend. I don't have any friends. And job. I'm not getting a job. Don't get me wrong. I would fucking love to be working, but I have trouble functioning as a human being. I had to rest for quite some time after my shower today. So the second time I did it, and I got a better answer. Money.
Yep.
Vodka.
Yep.
Not really a big vodka drinker at all, but good to know. Doug wants to give me wine. The internet wants me to have vodka and anal.
Oh, that's that's a party right there.
So we'd love to know what you got when you watch this, but I think that I thought that was pretty fucking interesting.
That was excellent. I think it's something to strive for. I think we both got things to strive for and means in which to kind of get in the mood.
Shit. I just deleted a bunch of stuff that I didn't mean to
delete. Don't do that.
Delete. Well, I always have notes for the podcast, and I always try to delete them as we go. And
we're going note free.
I try to address the notes that I make as I make them. And sometimes they get ahead of me and I forget what the fuck because I have notes in here from 9 months ago and I no longer know what they mean.
Yeah.
So one thing that came up was we're watching one of our favorite shows. We talked about it a million times in the pod. I highly recommend it. Is Naked Attraction. There's episodes on YouTube now. Yeah, we're getting.
Is that what we watched last night?
Yeah, Naked Attraction.
Yeah, but I didn't know if it was on YouTube.
It was on YouTube
or whatever. Okay.
YouTube show called Naked Attraction. Highly recommended. Out of the UK.
It's a dating show.
Although I think that they have like a couple of other countries they do too. Now, like it's in other countries, not just UK.
Welcome to a Naked Attraction.
Uzbekistan might have a Naked Attraction. I'm not really sure.
This is Helga. She is from Uzbekistan proper.
Settle down, Helga.
She would like to show you her burqa.
There were no burqas. There has not been a single burqa on.
Really? I think I've seen burqa on there.
I have not seen a burqa on Naked Attraction. Naked Attraction is a show.
And we love the host, by the way.
The host is hot. And she's Anna Richardson, hottie patati. Is that a thing?
No.
Sure it is. So it was the show premiered July 25th, 2016. Late birthday present for me.
Very good.
And is airing its 7th season.
7 series of naked singletons, as they say.
Controversy. Oh. Numerous complaints about the program were made by the broadcasting watchdog of COM. Sounds like a bunch of fucking Karens. Due to the full frontal nudity. And so...
If there's no full frontal nudity, there's no concept for the show. So
that too, but like, why would it be a bunch of Americans are all uptight about a little cock? Seriously, these people need to get the fuck over themselves.
Some of them aren't so little.
Well, some of them are not so little, but it's not like generally in a sexual way. There's people, they show their naked bodies.
They're just fucking people.
The show was purely a dating show and did not contain any sexual activity.
No,
and the show was shown after Watershed. It caused controversy when released in the United States.
What is Watershed? Is that when you brush your teeth and go to bed?
All I can tell you is that Watershed is broadcasting. Watershed is a time of day in which programming and content deemed suitable only for mature adults and audiences was permitted.
We've learned
which is probably why our podcast is on too early. Like I think we need to go later because we're
pre-Watershed.
This is not a podcast for kids, but it's a podcast for like adults in middle age and our friends and maybe younger people and older people. But the reality is
ridiculous people.
We would like to have it on later, but we're too old for that shit.
Maybe we do like on tape.
One of my closest friends would love to watch the podcast and support us, but she goes to sleep at like 8 o'clock.
Better than the afternoon
by now. She's sound asleep. So we're old as fuck and you have to watch the pod. But we don't have to watch. You can watch, you cannot watch, but we have a podcast and we're pretty happy about it. These are the countries that are currently doing fucking Naked Attraction. And I feel like we really need to expand our international horizons.
I would watch any of those countries.
Well, you're giving it away by saying you'd watch them. Germany, da, Gratis Dogen,
Nugen,
Skull, Schnauzer,
Sergeant Schultz,
Schneiser,
Klink.
In any case, Germany. I don't know if there's any pooping.
Hammelburg Road.
And if you're a German and you're offended by that, could you please tell us a little bit more about the poo play in Germany? Because we're curious.
Akta Liebe.
Denmark.
Also Akta Liebe.
What is Denmark? I don't even know.
They're Danish.
No, I know that they're Danish. Is there any
like a donut
offensive remarks I can make about the Danish?
Thanks. I don't think anything bad ever comes out of Denmark, does it?
Cool.
Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, I know a couple people I can't stand from Denmark.
Skaters.
I know at least 2 people from Denmark that I cannot fucking stand. Yes.
Alisa! No, they're from the Netherlands.
Oh, well, I can't fucking stand that lady. Finland.
Finns are always
Italy?
great hockey players.
Italy, I would watch that. That would be dirty because the Italian men are crazy
Hello.
in a good way.
Do they allow pinky rings on Naked Attraction, or do they have to go without the pinky ring?
We're gonna have to watch it. There's only one way to know.
That was probably insensitive
to watch
on
and
my
find
part.
out. Norway.
Also, yeah, the Nordic folk. There's some good stuff happening.
I don't know
there.
any I've seen an Italian dick. I've never seen a Finnish dick, a Denmarkian dick, a Danish dick, an Italian dick. I've seen Norway, a Norwegian dick.
No, I don't know. I don't know what. I don't ask people.
I will tell you that Poland. I have seen a couple of Polish dick. Not because I've gone around looking at Polish dicks, but because people have sent me dick pics.
Oh, well, got that going.
P.S. I have a nipple twin who is Polish.
Yeah, you do actually.
And then Sweden. Swedes have big dicks.
Well, that's what they say.
Sweden, Netherlands, don't know anything about that. Wales and Singapore.
Singapore. I want to watch that one.
There's a rumor that the Asians not so much with the dick, but I don't know if you're going to go on national television and show people your penis. The bottom line is we got to start watching more shows. And we learned a new phrase this week, boys and girls.
What is that?
Blind meat.
Oh, blind meat.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So Donna was here and we're watching this show because that's the kind of thing you do with your friends is judge cocks together. Yeah. And she couldn't take the blind meat. She had quite enough. Blind meat is apparently when you're not circumcised and you can't see with your one eye out the hole. See? Nothing. Blind meat. Wow. Which is the name of Doug's new punk band. Don't you think? There's also some other shows that are equally Buying Naked, Dating Naked, Naked and Afraid, and the Naked News. Well, Naked and Afraid we watched.
Yeah, I remember the Naked News thing. I don't know what Buying Naked is. What is that?
They're probably like buying houses or.
Well, let's find out.
Buying Naked. Wikipedia wants me to give them money, and I'm not doing it because they fucking fuck with shit. Buying Naked is an American reality show that premiered on blah blah blah. The show follows real estate. She follows homes and clothing optional communities to house hunting nudists. We should share that with our friend the Roaming Royals. They're nudists.
I didn't know that you had house areas that are for nudists. I didn't know that.
I can't imagine living in a fucking HOA, nudist or not. I want to live on a piece of land big enough that I can walk around bare ass if I want to. Oh, fuck, I sound like my father. That's what he would say. I want to be able to walk around bare ass if I want to. And I remember as a teenager.
And he does.
Thinking to myself, please, Dad, do not walk around naked. And yes, he does. As a matter of fact, my dad is a large, robust man, 6'1".
Robust.
Looks like he's pregnant with like 8 babies. And one day my daughter was going to pick up her graduation present, which was a new MacBook. She didn't want to go by herself because my dad is a character.
Walks
and
around
she
bare
was
ass.
A little concerned that he may be drinking. And so she gets, the bare ass part was not something she was prepared for. So she brought our pal Zach with us, who was actually her friend before the kid just showed up at our house one day, became part of the family, still our friend to this day. We hear from him more than we hear from the kids. It is what it is. In any case, she, he big brothered her quite a bit, and he went with her to my parents' house, and my dad was expecting her, and sure enough, he's laying on the couch, stark raving naked when they get there, 2:00 in the afternoon. And he proceeds to walk right past the sliding glass door so that they get a full show, to put on some shorts and a shirt that was described to me as something Winnie the Pooh would wear. Actually, the shorts were described to me as underwear, but I'm pretty sure that they were just his shorts. And I feel bad for them. My dad is naked and I'm afraid, so I can only imagine how that would feel to see
Naked with your dad. It's a new show, a reality show.
I did see it's actually right around the same time I saw my dad. Not so long before that, I actually saw my dad's parts.
It was in the hospital.
In the hospital, like he moved in his shorts, and I'm traumatized. And congratulations, Dad. Everything looks great, but that will forever haunt my brain. And here's the other one. I once saw my grandfather naked in the bathtub. He looked a lot like you.
It's a handsome man. Tom says OMG. And I guess it's about your naked dad, which is
my naked dad, my dad's dick, my naked dad, my grandfather's dick. The fact that you look like my grandfather, and the fact that
the Holy Trinity, your husband, your father, and your grandfather is a holy trinity of dick.
I was just explaining last night to our waiter. By the way, shout out to Ryan at the Bimini Bait Shack, who was our waiter last night when we went to celebrate our friend Donna's 29th birthday. That Ryan and I were joking around a little bit.
How do you end up talking to the waiter at a restaurant about dick?
What else do you talk to a waiter about? I don't remember what I was talking. Wait, my train went off the tracks. I was talking to the waiter about various things. At one point, I called him a pussy for driving an Audi instead of a Jeep.
And I asked if he wanted me to shit on his chest because he liked German things.
Why do we keep picking on the poor Germans? We like Germans.
I'm mostly German.
We met the Germans that we bought the living rooms furniture from.
They
were so excited. We thought that they were going to be our friends, but they're not. Probably because we keep making jokes about Germans shitting on people.
But we have the nice furniture.
It's really not that nice.
Okay, and fuck the Germans.
I don't really want to fuck the Germans because I don't mind. I'm not down for shitting.
Everybody was fine. The German cars are fine. Don't send us letters. Don't write into the show.
Fuck that. Everybody should drive a goddamn Jeep, and you should buy it from
Larry
everybody
should drive
Go buy it from Larry the pool guy and drive around in Florida when it's 60 degrees and you have to wear pants.
No
pants. We're wearing pants, people.
No, Tom, we're not doing this. Google German toilet. No, she's gonna do it. Tom, you're a bad influence.
I love Googling fucked up shit. We watched spider porn with John and Donna the other night on the big screen. That was hilarious. And if you have, listen, Tom, well, I don't want you to interrupt this podcast, but I feel like you could watch this podcast and spider porn and maybe even rub one out at the same time. Whatever you do is up to you. But I'm looking up German toilet.
Here she goes.
You look up spider porn. I think I've looked this up before. I also looked up blue waffle. If you're telling me not to look it up, I'm going to look at it. I just looked up German toilet.
No, you're just looking at images. That's the problem.
German toilets. You know why I'm getting a lot of composting toilets and stuff? Because I'm constantly
because you're always Googling
researching toilets. I'm really excited about German toilets. Tom, you might have to send me a link.
You might have to put German toilet Millmore and see what happens.
Wow. I don't know.
There might be something. I mean, he might be submitting like his old VHS
porn.
Tapes.
German toilet porn
toilet porn videos. This is not good, folks. This is not what I signed up for. I do not know what is happening there, and I kind of don't want to know.
There's so many things happening on this screen right now. They can probably see the reflection in my glasses if they look hard enough. I'm just saying that there's some aggressive things happening.
And these are just the previews.
This isn't, I haven't managed to find any German toilet. This is just like regular porn that I'm getting right now.
Tom says that they have a shelf so you can examine your bounty.
You should have put a toilet brush there, and that is not in the. I have that one. Sorry, I have. Oh, that's different than the one I have. Look at that.
Yeah, that's there's all kinds of things happening there.
Do you like that sassy black lady?
I do like the sassy black lady and her jiggly ass. But Tom says they have a shelf so you can examine your bounty. Now, is your bounty your nether regions, or is the bounty what you produce in the German toilet?
Can you just send me a goddamn link?
He's going to.
Here's the problem, Tom. I'm going down a rabbit hole.
This is not good. There's only a few people watching, so I think we're safe. Like, so whoever is watching has been forewarned.
I was just not prepared for a lot of the things that I'm seeing on this podcast.
He was saying you can examine your log texture. I don't know. Do people examine their log? I guess they do, right?
I always examine my. I need to know if I need more fiber.
Like the Play-Doh Fun Factory, right? You had the star, you had the round, you had the flat.
What the fuck is on
the spaghetti
internet?
one?
You know what? I'm starting to think censorship might be a good idea.
All right, Tipper Gore. So now I got to worry about my log texture. I'm
really glad that Ice-T is in love with my 2 12-year-old nieces.
Oh my goodness!
Shout out to Ice-T and Coco. I love Coco. She's amazing.
Yeah, Ice-T is. I like him. He's kind of legit.
His wife Coco is a badass, and they have a little girl. The little girl looks just like Ice-T.
Oh.
Don't say that.
That's not a handsome girl.
I mean, I was trying to allude to that.
I like Ice-T. He's got his own thing going on, but
the wife is hot.
Girl with that face. Yeah, the wife
is hot as fuck. But you know what? With any luck, she will just be like, beautiful later.
Oh, are you kidding? I've known many a person.
I was, oh my God, we were looking at pictures of me as a kid today. I was the most awkward child on the fucking planet.
Oh, I thought you were cute. You were like a mini version you are now.
No, I was super awkward. Have you looked at those pictures of me with like short hair and a mullet and popping my collar and greasy skin and like, you think my awkward face is bad now? This is the best it's gotten right here.
Right, that's it. That's as good as it gets.
No, actually, when I met you, I was probably at my peak.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm pulling in the hot chick.
Not anymore.
You're still a hot chick.
I think that the Ding Darling guy might have been flirting with me yesterday, a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
How about the waiter that you were talking about dicks with? Was he hitting on you, or vice versa?
Talking about dicks with the waiter? What are you talking? The one yesterday?
Yeah.
Ryan? I don't remember what I was talking to Ryan about. I don't remember.
He was from Tennessee. He's from Memphis.
I like anybody from Tennessee.
Really?
You know who's from Tennessee?
Muck.
Our favorite pot smoking hippie, and I include myself in that list.
A lot of people from Tennessee.
A lot of people are from Tennessee, but they're not all Muck Sticky. Okay, so
Tennessean
I haven't found anything.
Is believing.
I haven't found any good German toilets, and so I'm gonna be waiting for that link, Tom. If you send it to me tonight, I will watch it live on the podcast.
Don't send her any links.
And be horrified, but
her browser history is going to be read at her funeral, and when we get to this part about the German toilets, I'm gonna invoke Tom's name. Here's
something that's really. Oh, I had actually posted on our Facebook yesterday, and I thought that this was a genius idea.
Okay.
And Risa, Risa and I are like Siamese twins separated at birth. And not that she talks constantly about penises and isn't inappropriate with waiters, but I had posted today on our Facebook page because I was thinking about how, the holidays coming.
Holidays are coming.
Support your local small business. I say this, by the way, right after we came from Ford's Garage. And I don't know, is Bimini Bait Shack, is that a big corporate outfit too?
I don't know if it is or not.
We try to shop small as much as possible. We try to support local businesses as much as we can. Shout out to Ranadon.com, our pal Uriel. If you're looking for a reasonably priced gift, the Ranadon Spot, it's $25. It's a great sounding speaker. It's about this big. It's gorgeous. And $25. And it's a great gift for anyone.
It's a great gift.
Like literally anybody would use it.
Yeah.
Especially it's a great
anybody with working ears.
It'll fill your
If you got working ears, it's a good gift for you. If you don't have working ears, it's kind of a cruel gift.
Can I just tell you, if you don't have working ears, if you don't have working ears, you put your music on high volume, you hold that thing up on your puss. That's a good time. It's not waterproof though, so maybe use like a dental dam or like a Hoover dam. Whatever it is that you use.
Just put it in a Wonder Bread bag and you're good.
Right? You can't use. Everybody in New England's using their Wonder Bread bags as
it's cold out there. Today. It's cold out there.
It's cold. Did you have to do that growing up, Wonder Bread?
Oh yeah, Wonder Bread bags. I think
everybody did.
I don't know if we ate Wonder Bread or like the Nissan bread. I don't know what we had, but we had a Sunbeam.
There's no fucking way we had Wonder Bread. We had whatever generic there was.
Yeah. The store brand.
Is there welfare bread? I remember welfare cheese.
There had to have been a welfare bread.
And we used to go to the outlet and buy the old bread.
Yeah.
So anyway, my post that I had, as the holidays approach, you're looking for gifts to buy, support your local small business. And it's so funny because people are like, what small business deals do you have? These fucking businesses are operating on a shoestring. You're not going to be able to compete. They're not going to compete with your big box stores in terms of deals. So if you're looking for a fucking deal on a piece of Chinese fucking crap that's going to end up in a landfill, shop big box. If you want something that's, either Chinese crap that they've marketed as their own product or possibly like a locally made or sourced product, then, shop at a local business.
When you're talking about shopping at a local business, I remembered about the time that I actually did reverse looting where we took a TV back to Best Buy because
it wasn't reverse looting.
It was reverse looting.
It was delivered. It was broken, TV. And Doug's running in with a TV saying, "I'm reverse looting. I'm reverse looting." And I'm like, I don't know if you're supposed to say that as an old white man. There's a lot that he can't say because he's old and white.
That's right. But what I can say is, Tom Milmore says, German-style toilet seems to produce a plethora of results regarding the shelf, so you can inspect your plop. I guess Germans are very concerned over there.
Wiener Schnitzels. Hang on. Doesn't everybody, after they get off the toilet, look at their poo?
Not all the time.
You don't?
No. I don't want to see that crap. Literally.
I literally have to look at my crap because I need to know what my health situation is.
Well, I know what my health situation is. So I just, I don't need
German toilet.
If I think something might be discolored or disfigured, something like that, maybe.
Okay, so you can look at your poo. But that's the thing. They used
look
to
at that.
ask you.
Oh, so it leaves it there.
So it's not really
in a presentation manner
you could
on like a little stage. That's interesting.
Well, that's cool, but
The poo shelf.
But herein lies the point.
Mm.
Up until very recently, one of the first questions you would be asked when you went to the doctor is about your poo. They would ask you if you're pooping regularly, what your consistency is, and they don't ask that anymore.
No,
and I would argue, as would my colon hydrotherapist friend Lynn, New Life Services, shout out to them. They have an office in Pembroke, Massachusetts. She would tell you that it's very important to be pooping and looking at the consistency of your poop. Well, you wanted to make an S shape.
Oh, an S? I don't think I make S's.
S for shit.
But the German toilets do not taint your sample with water. So it just lays it there.
Was the taint
like an Edgar Degas still life.
My key question here.
I'm trying to work an Edgar Degas 3 nights in a row. Now I'm up to 2. So
okay. But to your point, what is that?
I don't know what that is.
Was the taint a pun that he intended there, or is that just the taint? Pun intended or no pun intended, Tom? We need to know. Tom may be the only person here tonight. Although it looks like we got 3 that we know of. I think we only know about the Facebook people, the YouTube people we don't know about, but that's okay because the YouTube people, maybe they're just not as cool.
Actually, I do remember some Rouser lyrics that said, "I splash, I plop all over this wicked world." So I think though it might be a group-based thing that Tom has found bandmates that are also.
Are the Rousers into poo play?
I don't know. I mean, they are writing songs about it. They're writing into podcasts.
Did the Rousers ever make a rock video of sorts?
They were on the Uncle Floyd show, however, which I can't find on YouTube anymore.
Did they make a rock video or not?
Yes, they have a couple of rock videos. No, there was not actually.
I gotta tell you, I'm shivering.
You're shivering, but all right, so we gotta lay off the Rousers because they're a fine rock and roll outfit. We just it's really Tom, right? It's really Tom just bringing the German stories.
He said, "Easy pal."
Easy pal.
I don't even know what's happening. I'm gonna pull this down.
Well, let's see what you're doing there. You have a lot of things to cover in this situation.
Well, here's okay. I'm gonna keep my hood on because it's cold as fuck. So I had a caller write in today.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, well, kind of. They called me and said that you need to discuss this on the podcast.
Okay, I just briefly, your outfit right now, you look like the guy on My Name is Earl that built the rocket.
Oh, yeah. He's like this close to being the Unimore. Actually, that's another story I want to talk about.
Also, that same guy played Hans Klopek in The Burbs.
Okay, well, I've never seen the Burbs Hans Klopek.
Let's see.
And I don't have a poop shelf.
Stephen Gerber says, "How do you know Uncle Floyd?" Used to watch him on cable. Somehow we got it in Massachusetts. And a shout out to Stephen. He's a newbie.
Stephen Gerber. I feel like Stephen's been here before.
I don't know if he has or not. I apologize for not remembering you.
If you have not been here before, you should probably see a psychiatrist about that.
And Stephen watched it too. Yeah, I mean, there was Looney Skip Rooney, Neto.
I think Stephen's been here before. Stephen, let us know if you've been here before. In any case,
he loved him some Uncle Floyd. Who
Stephen
did?
And I are Facebook
that little
friends.
doll
Check
thing.
this shit out.
Oh.
He's got monkeys.
Wait. Stephen Gerber has monkeys.
He has 5 little monkeys on his fucking Facebook wall.
Well, maybe.
And he went to High Sound High School.
Okay.
I'm telling all of his life
story. Why do you dox
I don't know.
the guy?
I'm not trying to dox the guy. Sorry,
well,
Stephen, but he has a really cool cat. I don't know. Stephen sounds like a good time, and you guys have
Stephen
mutual
says
interest.
He doesn't think he's been here. Well, welcome.
Welcome.
However you stumbled on us.
We're glad you're here. And
you just missed some great German toilet talk. It was very good.
It's about to get worse.
Oh,
so
right,
okay,
here we go. Here we go. Hold on to your hats.
So
folks.
I had 2 enlightening conversations with friends this week. Should we start with Zach or Charlie?
I'd go with Zach. Well,
want to end on an up note?
Yeah. Okay,
all right, we're gonna start with Charlie. Okay, so I have a friend, and this friend is a fucking character. And many of my friends have. Oh, Stephen says, "Thank you." Well, you're welcome. We are so happy that you're here, and we hope you'll come back or get therapy after tonight's podcast because you're going to need it. It's like the only 2 responses to this podcast.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Therapy or coming back for more.
Or enjoyment.
And so anyway, I have a friend who's a character, and we went to Catholic school together back in the day. We did all the same things together. We were both on the chess team. That's right. I got my varsity letter in chess, motherfuckers. And we were in the literary magazine together, yearbook together. And, He was in the band. I hung out with the band. Yeah, I was like not even cool enough to be in the band. I had to just like hang out with them because, whatever.
Takes a special breed.
So he has since, I'm flipping it up so I look like Blossom.
Excellent.
He has since gone on to live on a large piece of land with a dome and a camper. And I recently it was his birthday, and I had a conversation with him that I found to be concerning. Like really concerning.
Do tell.
Well, he's older than I am, not by much, but he's older than I am. And he would like to have he's fed up with relationships.
As are many.
Sorry, not
viewers.
Relationships.
That's why they're watching a thing called Marital Hate.
Not relationships, but the pursuit of a relationship. Because being single is fucking hard.
Yeah,
And apparently he belongs to a men's group online. And the men's group has determined that you do not want an American woman, that you should go to abroad to get a wife, and you should stay in that country because the women here are trash. So I don't know if he's been listening to, and you don't want to bring them to the United States because they'll become Americanized. So he is considering the following countries to go to and find a wife.
I have a rebuttal on that, but go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
By saying trash, do they mean educated, uppity, wanting all kinds of
I don't think he said
equal
trash,
rights
but I
kind
think
of shit?
No.
That's not good.
I mean, listen, to some extent, I can understand where he's coming from. And I've had this conversation with many of my single friends, and it seems that a lot of single women today are really very shallow and concerned with like their social media and their looks and their likes and their makeup and their hair, and that they lack substance. And I've seen that myself quite a bit. And I think that, it's a challenge to be single. I mean, I've seen men that can't hold a job, and like or that are have issues with substance abuse. Like there's all kinds of fucking disasters out there, but then there's also disasters out there that are married. So who the fuck knows?
You don't know.
Side note: our spring onions are taking over the kitchen. If you go to the store and buy yourself spring onions, just put them in a glass of water
and
by
they'll
the
go ape
windowsill.
crap.
They go ape shit. You never have to buy fucking spring onions again. We're gonna
open up a spring onion farm.
It's gonna eat us alive in our
$1 a bunch.
That thing was like a little bunch.
It was a little bunch. It's
and
not
it's
worth
like now
interrupting your story.
30 arms on it. It's
about Charlie.
I'm a little concerned it's gonna eat me in my sleep. Okay, so speaking of being, so his choices for where he wants to get a wife from are
these are his choices.
Thailand,
okay,
the Philippines,
Philippines,
and Vietnam. And he wants a girl in her 20s. Red flag.
This whole thing sounds very, very lotion in the basket.
If you're living in a third world country and you need a man to live in a dome with, no, I'm not saying that those are third world countries. I don't know if they're first, second, third, or 87th world. Yeah,
they're in the world.
I'm an American. I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? Ignorant. I'm ignorant because I'm an American. And I mean, I could Google it, but I'm not going to because I'm going on a tirade. If you're a young girl in anywhere of the country or the world, perhaps
don't try and take candy from a guy in a windowless van.
No, you should do that. That candy is always good. But if a 48-year-old man is interested in you and you're in your 20s, it's not typically because of the riveting conversation. It's not. And so what he wants is
somebody's getting riveted already.
He wants, he thinks women talk too much. And he's actually commented on the podcast quite a bit. And he said, Steven said, it's going on. Steven says, F American women. I like Brazilians. I have a friend who married a Brazilian. Didn't go so well for him. But I'm Portuguese, so there you go. He says Brazilians are very sweet. And he said, no, Brazilian women. And he said blow pops. So blow pops out of the windowless van. I got to be honest with you. My options with windowless.
It's also a gum.
My options with windowless vans is somewhat limited because I can no longer have Snickers or whatchamacallits or Reese's. Yeah. So I'm pretty fucked.
So your peanut allergy will potentially save you from rape and murder and torture and murder and going on the sex trade.
Well, I think my fat ass is saving me from a rape. Like I'm unattractive, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
And then
no, I didn't say you're unattractive.
You just agreed with me that I'm unattractive. And also my annoying talking because American women talk too much.
Well, apparently.
Especially this one. So he wants someone that's never had any children and he doesn't want her to be looking at him like a wallet.
puss ain't blown out.
He doesn't want a woman to be looking at him like, well, my puss isn't blown out. I had 4 fucking kids.
Oh, Steven says Stacy is very young. See,
Oh, thank you,
people
Steven.
are writing in.
I mean,
Although
hang
tonight
on.
with the sweatshirt, she's kind of looking like can we do a side by side with the guy, the bomber from My Name Is Earl?
Thank you for saying that, Stephen. I have been lining up alternate husbands, and right now I have
Yes, in case this
Todd
doesn't work out.
and Huddy and Charlie, although Charlie's going to be in Thailand. So maybe you're going to have to replace Charlie on the list because I don't want to live in a dome. I would live in a dome, but not with Charlie.
Is Charlie assembling like a cage and to bring over to one of those countries and try to grab somebody?
Oh,
that's terrible.
There's more to the story.
Okay.
He says, Doug, you
Oh, well, thank you, Stephen Garmer.
You've been gay enough today. Settle down.
What?
You try to.
I am all things to all people.
We will get back.
How am I been gay?
We will get back to how you were trying to pick up a man at the bar tonight. But
no. I wasn't. No, there was.
Did you approach a man at the bar?
I approached him to ridicule him about his choice.
Did you walk up to the bar and put your hand on the back of his stool? And did you go over with a pickup line?
No, I went over there with no plan whatsoever.
We'll talk about it.
Turns out the guy lived within a half a mile of me when I lived in Massachusetts.
Because it's not a pickup joint. It's Ford's garage. You're supposed to get a burger and leave. Not the point. The point is, so my friend wants to go to one of these countries and get a 20-something-year-old girl who is going to be a hole for him and make him sandwiches.
Just one hole?
And he also, I'm sure he would like as many holes as he can get. But the problem is he's looking at small Asian women and he's massively hung. He's going to kebab those poor women. But that's the least of my fucking concerns here. So he's talking about bringing his dome over to one of those countries and building the dome there. So it's like,
he's going to disassemble the dome that he just spent a year making.
If you're a 20-something-year-old woman, you want to go live with an American, you want to do it in America. Unless there's a lot of money in it. People want citizenship.
Okay.
In any case, my point is, my friend, I love the guy. I've known him for a million years, but that conversation left me kind of bewildered. And sometimes I don't know if he's just fucking with me for the sake of fucking with, to get me annoyed. But I was mildly concerned after the conversation. And don't get me wrong, I've listened to some Andrew Tate, and he's got some ideas that are not necessarily in line with, I'm not in line with the feminist ideal in this country. I find it to be ridiculous. But Andrew Tate and his brother talked a bit about, having, how Americanized women and feminist lifestyle is not something they want in their lives. They want a more traditional marriage.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing wrong with having a traditional marriage if both parties agree to it. I don't give a shit what you do in your fucking marriage. You want to do whatever you fucking want in your relationship. Who the hell are we to say? We're not here to judge anybody.
We're just here to make nonsense.
I'd like to think so. And Steven says you're living in a pool dome.
Well, that's a good point. We're making fun of Charlie's dome. Well, we're not making fun of it. I'm making fun of Charlie is going to take his dome apart and take it to Vietnam or somewhere.
That's the part that's concerning. But we also have the comforts of home. He hasn't been living. So he's in New England in a dome that's not finished yet. He's been working on it for a long time. And that will be his primary residence.
We genuinely care about him.
We genuinely do care about him, but he doesn't have running water. He's using a generator, and I'm just starting to worry about him. So we do have a pool cage surrounding us, but if you look over there,
there's a whole indoor home.
We have a house. There's running water,
sticks and bricks,
electricity. It's actually not. It's concrete block.
It's concrete and concrete. Which doesn't rhyme, so I had to come up with something.
Steven says, I love kebabs. I don't think that you want to have anything to do with a woman whose dick has been forcibly shoved from out from one end through the other. I don't think that would be a good kebab.
Yeah, our friend Charlie has a wiffle.
If you happen to go both ways and you want to be part of that, I'll give you his number, but I don't know what he's doing these days. I think he's just lost his fucking mind is my point. Yeah. Because he's a nice guy. He's very intelligent. He's
I don't know. It sounds like his men's group might be giving him some bad.
This men's group is what I'm very concerned
maybe
about.
Not so
my online men's group says at least 3 times in the conversation. And I was like, okay, cool. You might want to see a therapist about that.
I'll Charlie, call me. I'll be your men's group. I'll be a one-man men's group. I have
he told you
wisdom to share.
I said, what do you advise for a 10th wedding anniversary?
And
he
told
said
me
a hooker.
He told me to get a hooker for my
10th
anniversary.
Get a hooker. So, my friend has a tremendous amount of respect for me and women in general. And Steven said, thank God your home isn't just a pool.
It's not.
I'd be down with my home being just a pool if it weren't for the fact that it's fucking 58 degrees.
It's a little cold tonight
in Southwest Florida.
Here,
That's a little
here
too
in Florida.
cold. So anyway, so I had another friend. So anyway, I'm concerned about my friend Charlie. Let's all send him some good vibes. And if you're a woman who wants to live in a dome with a man who doesn't like it when women talk and wants you to make him sandwiches and be available for sex at any time, let me know. I'll give you his number. And then, but ideally you would be Filipino or Thai or Vietnamese, and you would have no standards. And so the other call I got, which was slightly less unsettling. This was actually much less unsettling.
All right, bring it.
It sparked quite
because I don't really know what this is.
So I got a call this morning that if you jerk someone off, so like you're sitting here and I jerk you off.
Yeah.
Who produced the cum?
Who is doing the jerking?
Who produced the cum? That was a literal phone call I got at 11 o'clock this morning.
I think the person that's receiving the jiggling is
so like, if I give you a hand
I've been working on producing this stuff all day.
Yeah. I give you a hand job and producing you pop off, you get credit for it.
No, it's well, if a tree falls in the forest, nobody cut it down.
I'm not asking you to make cheesy fucking cliches. I think
I would give you credit for the
I would like a sound and logical argument.
I would give you credit for the deed, yes. Because really, like the end result is not no, it's kind of dumb. It's a dumb question. But
I understand you think it's a dumb question, but can you answer it? Who do you gets credit for the producing of the cum?
The person doing the jerking.
The jerking. So you get no credit.
No, not really. No, I did the easy part. It's like the dad when you have a baby. Like the dad gets the easy part. The woman does all the work.
Steven says, please help me find a good hooker. And I know some people that know some people. I don't know if they're good.
We can get you set up in
where do you live?
Peru.
Where do you live?
We can get you.
Well, we have a male hooker that used to work in Miami.
He didn't specify,
but now he lives in Peru. And then we have.
Well, we can probably get you something in Peru. We can't guarantee gender or
it's legal there. Or go to Denmark. It's legal there. You could go on the naked show. Maybe get some ass. I'm not really sure, but give it a shot. Steven says the woman produces it. Okay, so here's my thing.
Right, it's like churning butter.
Yeah, hang on.
It was a heavy cream until the butter was churned, and then it came out parquet margarine.
These analogies have gone off the deep end. Okay, so a woman. I'm giving you a hand job.
Yes.
The group consensus when we discussed this earlier today, you were working while the rest of us were discussing.
Yeah, because
sorry that you had to work. Is that it's a joint effort?
I don't think it is a joint effort because ain't nothing coming out if the lady is.
So here's the thing: the guy that called me about this happens to be a religion, and Steven says Peru is too far. Well, I don't.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Tell me where you live, and we'll try to find you a hooker. Not that it's, by the way, we neither encourage.
It's not in our job description, Stephen.
We neither encourage nor discourage.
But if we'll celebrate it.
Yeah, but we neither encourage nor discourage the oldest profession as long as all parties are willing and no one's being like trafficked or whatever. But so here's my thing. Just stop looking at your phone because this is an important conversation. So the person I was talking to about this was a religious fella.
Yes.
And we talk often about spirituality because I do not just talk about dicks and natural health. Sometimes I talk about spirituality and how much I hate the government and Jeeps and other things, drugs, whatever. And so I was explaining to him, I said that I the only way I could say that it's like because could you make yourself come without touching if you were touching your own penis, we would say that you were the producer. Like undeniable, you were the producer.
Okay.
Could you, without touching your penis,
a Jedi mind trick?
Could you Jedi mind trick your dick? And because I could make myself come without touching myself. Can you make yourself come without touching yourself?
I don't believe no.
Well, why don't you try right now? Steven says, "LOL, just kidding." You okay?
We're just giving you some tough love, Steven. We're just trying to help you.
No physical stimulation needed. Oh, he said he needs physical stimulation as well. Y'all don't have a very active imagination. I can make myself come right now on national podcasting. That's not the point.
It's quite
the point is, okay, so then you have the idea of, okay, what if What if I like tied you up?
Yeah.
And not in like a fun sex way, like in a like a creepy way.
Yeah.
And I masturbated you. Then would I be the producer of the sperm? Because if you
I'm
were
just
like
an instant
not a
bystander
willing,
at that point.
you're a non-willing party and you're forced to ejaculate against your will. Does that make the other person the producer?
I think this whole premise is that you're looking for someone as the producer or the person that takes full credit. It's a joint effort.
No, but see,
if there's a second person involved,
yes, but
there's
it's
a
not
joint effort.
If it's not a joint effort, if I agree with you that it's a joint effort, if it's me, I give you a hand job, you come, joint effort, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if
a thank you is in order for
okay, I really wish Tracy was here, by the way. What if I am like I break in?
You break in the night.
I break in the night.
Sneak over.
Tie you up.
Yeah.
And I'm not your wife. Like maybe I'm Steven.
No. Don't use a dude.
It doesn't matter if it's a dude or not. The person.
What if it's just?
It's actually
an amputated hand.
Because if I tie you up,
amputated arm.
Hear me out. If I tie you up and jerk you off, you're probably going to be pretty turned on by that.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, but if Steven ties you up, you're not going to be turned on by that.
I'm going to wonder who gave Steven my address first of all.
Okay, but maybe.
Yeah.
But you're not a willing participant in this. You're not turned on by Steven.
Right.
Because
I don't know Steven. Maybe he's a handsome fella.
He might be a handsome fella, but he keeps telling me he's not into dudes.
Not
okay, so you're not into dudes. So violent criminal broke into the house.
Yeah.
Strapped you to the bed.
Yeah.
You're terrified, but you come. Who produced it?
The criminal.
Wasn't it a joint effort?
No,
your body was still involved.
Because I'm telling myself no.
Okay, so here's my theory. While you need the parts, you have to have like testicles and a prostate and a penis and all that crap. While you have the parts and you've got somebody that's using your parts, so you were actually part of the effort. I would argue that who you are and who I am is not defined by my physical body, but my spirit, like, when you let Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, and your spirit goes on to heaven, your eternal soul. And so your body is just a physical body. So I think, and since it's just physical bodies, are either of you responsible? Is it God responsible for all ejaculations?
I have a way to reframe this situation.
Right.
Okay, a lady works at a horse farm.
Okay.
She's gonna jerk off the horse to get the semen to inseminate like some thoroughbred racehorse.
Okay. And?
It's her job title.
Horse jerker offer?
Is she horse producer or whatever? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it happens. It's got to happen. And
yes, but
somebody's job.
Who gets credit, the woman or the horse?
The woman gets the credit. Horse ain't doing shit. He's just standing there. There's a horse.
Maybe the horse just wants to fuck another horse, but he's like, well, I'm getting a hand job. I might as well get one.
Wow, it's too dangerous. He might injure the lady filly horse. So that's why you need the
I don't think that the horse thinks that way. I don't think the horse has the presence of mind to think about the feelings of the lady horse. It's an animal. Whatever is happening here, Steven thinks it's hot. I think we've lost our fucking minds once and for all. Okay, did you leave the house unlocked, by the way, so our friends can get back in?
I didn't. I lost. But we're losing viewership.
So, but here we're always losing viewership. It's bound to happen. So here's my thing, is that one of the things that has been a problem is
people tying people up and jerking them off.
No, well, I was actually going to make a reference to the Catholic Church once again because I like to pick on the Catholics.
All right.
12 years of Catholic school will do that to you. That's what I was talking to the guy about. Is horrifying the Catholics.
Horrifying the Catholics.
Talking to Ryan the waiter about horrifying the Catholics and my poor grandmothers rolling over in their graves. But do you think that the priests are able to justify their molestation of the children by saying that it's not their soul, it's their physical body?
I think they'd probably more go with they're all God's children and they all need to be they all deserve to be sinned.
But are you ignoring my point entirely?
Yes, because I really don't understand the whole spirit and how religious people view.
So what do you think happens when you die?
I don't know, first of all, but I think your energy goes somewhere. Your spirit goes into some sort of weird limbo or something.
So your spirit.
Yeah.
So that's your energy, that not your Like this is your body,
Yeah.
but the essence of Doug is
The
Doug's
essence of
spirit, not
Doug.
Doug's body.
Right.
So that's the theory. The theory.
So
that
I
many
can
hold.
abuse my body any way I like. And
Well,
it's not a
I mean,
sin.
many people will tell you no, but that's not relative to what we're
Sounds like
talking.
somebody who likes to diddle children is trying to use religion to avoid.
I don't diddle children. To be very clear, I'm saying that I'm
avoid
saying
hell.
that. Okay,
All right.
can we just go with my point for a second?
Let's go with your.
So you understand the concept of your spirit versus your
right,
physical body,
right? Yes.
Is that something that you believe
I
in personally?
understand,
Is that something you personally believe in?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what I'm saying is that is the crux of the discussion.
Yeah.
Is are you actually doing anything? Like my spirit forces my physical body to do things, but my physical body does things against my will. So if I'm using my spirit and energy to make my physical body do something,
Yeah,
I get credit for that. But if my physical body does something that I don't want it to do, like be fucking sick for 10 fucking years, that's my physical body, not my soul. Which is why I'm slowly going insane, because my soul wants to be doing things and my body says no. How can I get a new body?
Oh, I think you need to go see. You can switch faces with John Travolta. That's all I know.
I
That's
don't
the
want to
extent
join
of that.
Scientology.
And the other thing was highlighted in a thing called Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein pulled a bunch
If I
of
want to see
body
Frankenstein, I'll just put you in a suit jacket. He looks like Frankenstein in a suit jacket. Because look, he got the broad shoulders and he got no neck.
I got bolts in my neck.
Jaw.
I got bolts in my neck.
You let me touch you a whole bunch tonight. You feeling okay?
It's just my body. It's not my spirit.
Your physical body. I touch your spirit every day.
Yes, you do.
So we learned about blind meat.
Blind meat. And so what you said, Donna, what's blind meat? Goes, could you see if you pulled your shirt up over your head? In reference to the uncircumcised penis.
You already explained it.
I know, but people may have joined late.
Okay, well, whatever.
Blind meat.
Okay. I have some. So if you haven't been following the news, Theo Von had RFK Jr. on his podcast. Theo Von, comedian, hilarious, nice guy. I think he's from Louisiana originally.
Somewhere down south.
And sharp guy. It's interesting. He's funny, but there's like a sadness about him. Like
he's almost like a sadness, but a thoughtfulness about him. Like he thinks about stuff, and like they'll ask him stuff off the top of his head, and he'll pull like these answers that are just like, it's like when you used to buy cookies.
It's like talking to me if I was Southern.
And well, no. Because you offer up a lot of stuff. He's very more like methodical.
Yes, if I was Southern. Yeah, I'm not a Southerner. So
you know how there's the Oreos are all in a row. Well, it's like it's almost like if you pull one of those Oreos out and switch one the one on the end, and then put the other one back in the middle. That middle one's still at the end, right? That's how I feel when I go on a roller coaster. Like that's something he would say, something.
Yeah, he's a character.
He's very, very funny. He's very
so he has many comedy series. He's on Netflix. You can catch him on TikTok, and he has a podcast, much like ourselves. And so I wonder if Theo Von wants to come on our podcast. And so he had on RFK Jr., president, nephew to JFK Jr., son to.
No, he's nephew to JFK.
JFK, not JFK Jr. That would be
cousin to
JFK Jr. Okay, so go ahead. Tell me all the relatives that he has.
Well, I'm just trying to
make my point for me. Go ahead.
Anyways, he was related to the president, and his dad was Senator Robert F. Kennedy.
And they both got dead.
So
he has some positions that many people are surprised that he's
not so popular.
I don't know that they're not so popular. I just know that they're controversial. Popular yet controversial stances. I don't know if
they're popular or if the fact that they're not popular makes them controversial.
I think that they're popular because I know a lot of people who support him in his many stances. So one of his stances is that we should no longer be allowed to advertise pharmaceuticals on television. We're one of 2 countries in the world that allows pharmaceutical companies to advertise on television. And one of his other stances is, but he's very anti-pharma. And he's also, I don't know if you're aware of this, but given the family history of gotten dead, He's requested that he have Secret Service support, and I don't believe he has it to this day.
Don't believe he
But
has
he
it.
was on Theo Vaughn, and somebody tried to break into his house. Like Biden could like easily be like, check, give him some Secret Service, but here we go.
I
Go
don't
fuck
know
yourself.
how. Like, I don't know why, and I don't know how, or I don't know why. The president is in charge of approving that. When
the policy
he could and is a potential opponent, political opponent.
So the reality is that the and I had looked this up when it was first an issue, but the reality is that there's precedent that Biden should allow that. And by the way, if I'm running against you, I don't want the image, the implication of impropriety. I'm going to do everything to make sure that election looks like it's on the up and up. And they looked at the history of people getting Secret Service coverage, and people getting it very early. And particularly Barack Obama was given early Secret Service coverage, and Kennedy was not. But that wasn't even the point of my whole thing.
No, I know.
So Kennedy goes on Theo Vaughn. I haven't even seen the episode, by the way. I think I've seen a couple clips of it, but he goes on and Peloton, which is this bike for like, it's like for
stationary
like
bike
yuppies to work out at home and do these live classes. They're expensive. They're like $2,500 or some shit like that. And you pay like $50 a month for the classes. You can rent one, see if you like it, but they've had some trouble because after the Sex and the City spinoff and just like that, where Mr. Big
does the Peloton
dies on the fucking Peloton,
and then he fucking has a heart attack.
Their stock plummeted, and so then they had so Theo Vaughn has RFK Jr. on. Peloton's a sponsor. Peloton is like, hey, you got to pull the RFK post video down, and he's like, no, and so then Dana White of UFC fame went on Theo's podcast. Theo told him, who it was, wanted him to pull that episode down, and he decided to boycott them. So there were several Pelotons at UFC headquarters where, the guys work out, and what he did was threw them all in the fucking trash and replaced them with Echelon bikes, which I don't know how the Echelon bikes are, but whether you support RFK Jr. or not, a big corporation trying to pull videos like that I think it's election tampering. You can pull your sponsorship, but you can't tell me to pull my video down.
I think it's undue influence based on
election tampering.
Yeah, I don't know. Election tampering feels like something that is more directly related to the vote, where this is a little bit more related to. I believe by definition,
by the definition of the law, it is election tampering. As a matter of fact, they had there's a Shapiro, not Ben Shapiro, a different Shapiro, who was on Rogan. This was a guy who had campaigned for Hillary Clinton. And then he was like the founder of Psychology Today. And he'd gone on and talked about, he was interviewed by Congress and was taught, what are you doing? You don't need to do that right now.
You didn't need to talk about the onions either, but I was just trying to remove a little spot from my phone here because it's reflecting and I can see it.
I would just like to feel like you're listening.
I am listening.
I don't feel like you're listening.
I didn't feel like you were listening when you were talking about the spring onions in the window.
I was talking when I talked about the spring onions. I get distracted by the things.
So back to your story.
So Theo Vaughn, so they decide they're going to pull. So Dana White pulls the Pelotons out. And it's become a big thing. People are standing up against Peloton. So every time Peloton posts a video, you got 100 people commenting, I stand with Theo Vaughn, I stand with RFK Jr., I stand with Dana White, pictures with Theo Vaughn, pictures RFK Jr., pictures with Dana White. So I earned a badge, just one of Peloton's top fans. Peloton can suck my dick. And I don't even have one. I would grow a dick just so Peloton could suck it. Fuck them. I believe that. Oh, so back to the Shapiro guy. So I've talked about this before on the podcast, but the Shapiro guy was on Rogan, and he was talking about how he had been interviewed by Congress or the Senate, Congress, I think, about because he was a founder of Psychology Today and a noted psychologist, and he talked about how just the slightest change in the Google algorithm could influence an election. He testified before Congress on this. And it's interesting because we vote differently. If I start searching for something, I'm going to get one thing and you're probably going to get another. So if I search Trump, the first thing that comes up is Trump 45th US president. I'm shocked by that. Second thing that comes up is Trump arrested. Third thing that comes up is Trump news.
All right.
What happens if you search Trump?
Yeah.
By the way, Trump being a generic example.
Just Trump. Just the word Trump.
Yep. So you get Donald Trump, Trump news, Donald Trump, trumpet. Very different. And then if you search
Wow, you get a lot, yeah.
Sanders. Sorry. If I search Sanders,
I get Brandon Sanderson as an American author.
I also get Brandon Sanderson.
How about
Sanderson
RFK Jr.? RFK.
I know that I got RFK Jr., RFK Jr. voice, RFK Jr. wife.
We got the same
RFK
there.
Jr. age, net worth. Yeah. So we got better. So maybe they're doing better things. I don't know. Maybe it's changed.
Controversy.
Yeah, but see, that's the point. When you're like the what I'm talking about is how you start to type something in and they try to lead you in a given direction with the verbiage. And it's interesting because it seems like the search has gotten like the leading searches have gotten slightly better. But lately I've found that anything I search for on Google or Amazon, I'm getting things that are completely unrelated. Like if I search on Amazon for night vision binoculars, which by the way, I was going to get night vision binoculars, but it was a scam. Yeah, I'm searching for night vision binoculars on Amazon, and I get back that kites or some other ridiculous nonsense. So I don't know what's going on with the search algorithms, but I'm fucking frustrated. Some nerds need to get out there.
Well, I will say that Google could just not take somebody out of their search. And if you're looking for, say, you're looking for a knee surgeon in the region,
they don't even have to take something out of the search. All they have to do is put it on page 2, and nobody's looking at it.
It's super important to go past the paid searches and kind of dig down into the thing.
It's actually interesting though. So we were I was at dinner years ago before I knew you. And I was going to a wedding, and I started talking to one of the family members of the bride, or outlaws or whatever. But it was somebody at a wedding, and this guy owned interestingly enough, a medical search engine company, and he was doing quite well for himself. And it was funny because I was curious as to why he asked this question, but he asked what was going to happen, what's going to happen with Google. And I said, they're getting fucking hit with antitrust suits left and right. That's going to happen. It was 12 years ago, because it was before I met you. In any case, they're undergoing an antitrust trial as we speak. And of course, the headline that I see that comes up right away is Google antitrust trial underlines its search engine popularity. I haven't been following the trial, but I'll tell you that Google, they own YouTube, and they're banning, they had banned RFK from YouTube. They're censoring a lot of shit. They have a lot of information. Who do you know that doesn't have a Gmail address?
Well, think about all the people that have the similar views to RFK Jr., but doesn't have that name clout and the ability to.
Well, if you had similar views to RFK Jr., even if you were like the average citizen sharing an article that you read from a trusted source,
right.
And by the way, I mean like a widely trusted source, or like a physician, like a medical doctor, you shared a medical opinion, that shit was pulled down. We had a video fucking pulled down. And so Google has, not only do they have, they have everybody's emails, access to that, most people's contacts, some people's notes, they have your search history, they know fucking everything about you.
Well, here's the thing, you I don't think a lot of people would probably think that when you Google stuff, you expect it to be like going into a library. It's all there for you.
No, they know.
And it's going to present.
They know. Not only do they know all that shit, but they share it. They share it with other.
I know they know. I don't know that your average Tom, Dick, and Harry know that when you Google something, Google is in control of what it returns to you. And they're in control of it two ways, whether they want to show it to you or not, or whether somebody's paid you to pay them to put it in front of you.
Change their rankings. I think that our viewers are smart enough to know that, but
they
maybe they aren't.
Sure.
Ann says, "Hey, Ann, what's up? I agree with you on the search items. It's ridiculous." Well, so you and I had actually talked about this briefly the other day, because a lot of people were concerned about this new share function where you can tap your phones together and they'll share your contact information, which you have to have them in like very close proximity. It's an intentional thing. Where people are not concerned about the real privacy issues they need to be concerned about. So there's 2 Edward Snowden interviews where he was on Rogan that are fantastic. I believe the full interviews are available on Spotify. You may be able to dig them up on YouTube, but they're free on Spotify. They just have commercials if you don't have a membership. And then there's the movie Snowden with Edward Norton.
Yeah,
plays Snowden. Excellent film, but I'm going to give you the broad strokes here. Edward Snowden worked for the CIA, the NSA, and the FBI. He talks tremendously. He talks extensively about the Patriot Act. By the way, a lot of this, like if you're not somebody that wants to read a lot of stuff or you don't want to sit through an interview, you need to be entertained, then watch Vice and watch Snowden. I think I'd watch Snowden first and then watch Vice, but they talk about how, you saw Vice.
Hey, I hated it from a movie standpoint. And I hated, there was some political, it wasn't a good film.
I disagree with you. But I think that it showed some key points that most people are oblivious to. And one of those key points is that we are manipulated by our government on a daily basis. They have like their own little fucking marketing departments to sell things to the American people. And one of those things was the Patriot Act. Patriot Act was rebranded several times. And then they finally used 9/11 to implement it.
Well, I think in theory, I think the Patriot Act was potentially a good thing, but like everything else, there's
okay. You're going to need to do some research on this, though,
corruption and greed and things like that.
So you should.
My opinion. I don't need to do research on my. What is he doing running around?
I have no idea. Does he think that the house is locked? Is the house locked?
I unlocked the front.
Do they not know how to work the door?
It was unlocked. I don't think they know it was unlocked. He's letting Donna in.
They're back,
but it was unlocked.
So I would challenge you to watch these 2 movies because you have you watched the one.
I've watched
movie.
Snowden. I've watched Vice.
I've
watched interviews with Snowden.
So do you?
Anywhere where people.
So you don't have a problem with the Patriot Act?
I understand that it was a better way to catch people doing some nasty shit, but of course they overstepped.
But how do you feel about the fact that the Patriot Act, the Patriot Act had previously been presented and shot down, and it was rebranded after 9/11 and implemented after 9/11?
Maybe if they passed it before 9/11, we could have intercepted some shit. But I digress.
Okay, well, I really, really, really disagree with Doug on this one. I know somebody that was held under the Patriot Act for 30 days without access to an attorney. Without access to his family,
I don't agree that you throw out our normal operating procedures.
But that's what the Patriot Act did. That's what the Patriot Act did. That's what it did.
I think I would have to review the goddamn Patriot Act.
That I think you should. And then Ann says the Patriot Act is now considered U.S. domestic terrorists. Yeah, it's
how is the Patriot Act considered domestic terrorists?
Is now considered U.S. direct. I don't know exactly what she means by that, but I will say that the Patriot Act, maybe she means it's an act of domestic terrorism upon the American people, which I would agree with. People were held without bail. They were your personal records were considered, and she says it considers you and me. I don't really know what you're trying to say. But if you want to clarify, please go ahead. So the Patriot Act, it was basically like, well, we can go through all your shit because it's an issue of national security. Mm-hmm. That was how they passed it. Mm-hmm. But the reality is they were going way outside the Patriot Act, which is what Snowden talked about. The movie Snowden talked about. It's what Edward Snowden talked about on Rogan. It's what he talked about twice. And so what he talked about was when you have your phone, that's my friend. When you have your phone in your house, It is looking at everything in your house. That means that they know how much what computer you own and what computer costs. They know everything in your house, what it costs, what it's where you shop. They know every detail about your fucking life. And like for people like me that put everything out there, that's no big deal. I don't give a shit what you know. The government wants to come and watch me blow my husband, they're welcome to. I mean, for a fee, but it's who do I charge, them or you? Or money all goes to the same place. I'm going to charge the government.
Either way, I'm getting blown out.
But a lot of people don't want their personal information shared. So, I think that if you're going to be concerned about the fact that there's an app that allows you to touch your phones together and share information, be more concerned about the apps that are already on your phone. And Apple actually has decent security relative to other companies out there. Although please chime in with your Apple security concerns. But the bigger issue for me is the fact that all of this information is being sold, transmitted. And I'm telling you, I used to work in tech. The information, data is big fucking money. Data is huge fucking money. And it's used to manipulate people and to sell you shit. And God only knows what else. Anne says we are domestic terrorists because we are Republicans and whatever we go against. I wouldn't describe myself as a Republican, nor would I describe myself as domestic terrorist, but there are people that believe that if you question anything that is happening today, you're a domestic terrorist. And I think that is not only a very closed-minded belief.
I will say this, that the Patriot Act would have been enacted during a Republican administration. And then I don't know.
It was enacted during a Republican administration, but Anne's not talking about. She's just making a general statement. Okay. I don't know that it's specific to that statement, but conservatives have been widely silenced, and it's been widely accepted that that's the case, particularly during the COVID of it all. Anne says it gives them the right to arrest us if we talk badly about the government. It goes beyond spying on us. There has been some recent cases, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's definitely some really concerning shit going on. And so I would just tell everybody that, be concerned about all the information that I'm not concerned that people have my information. I tell you guys everything, but they know everything about you.
Yeah.
They can hear in your home. And by the way, we have Google Home speakers. We have a smart home, and people are like, well, you got that device in your home. It's listening, blah, blah, blah. Your fucking phone is listening 20. Yeah. So we can't fight City Hall. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put everything out there. And if they want to come for me, I don't know how they're going to, if they want to come for you, they're going to come for you, and they're going to make shit up, and they don't give a fuck. So that's my opinion. So that's my anti-government rant for the day. I ranted about dick jerking off, the soul. We didn't really talk about natural health, but we did come out in support of sex workers.
German toilets.
Where if you want to look at your poo, look at your poo. Did we already answer that?
Yeah.
But listen, we've been having a stupendous time this week. It's so weird that we're going off on this very odd arc of the podcast tonight. But we've been having a great week with our friends who are visiting.
Friends are here.
John and Donna, love them. Thank you. They took us. We went to dinner last night. We'd never been there before. Bimini Basin.
Yeah, Bimini Basin. Actually, I can. It reminded me of eating at a Bass Pro Shop, because there was a boat hanging above us.
It did have an airboat suspended. The bar is actually made of a fish tank, which is really fucking cool. And then they had these swings by the bar that you're supposed to sit in, and they're not. Doug couldn't sit in it. I think it's because you have to have an ass, because all the women seem to be having an easy time with sitting there. The men not so much.
All right, I'll just show you the inside of this place. It was a little bit of a tourist trap.
Maybe.
But it was. This is what you expect. I'm going out to dinner in Florida. This is what I want. I want a.
It's a good scene.
Yeah, I want a boat that's getting attacked by a taxidermied alligator, which is now put a hole in this boat. There's another alligator above.
And they actually had a live singer up there, and he was pretty good, but he kept taking breaks.
Yeah.
Who does 3 songs and takes a break?
So on this, this thing, you crank up this little cup with your tip in it, and it dumps the tip into this barrel.
And there were kids trying to put the tip in the barrel, and they did it 8 times.
So they kept doing it. So then down here in this blue stripe right here, under the bar, that is actually a fish tank. I don't know if you can tell that, but the fish tank runs all three sides of this bar, and then these are coconuts. The bar's made of coconuts.
They can see what you're pointing
the swings
to.
are here. I don't know if they can see my cursor. They can see my cursor.
So yeah, there's the swings, and Doug had trouble with the swings. So the food was good. The conch fritters were really good.
Yeah,
the fish tacos were good.
I had brisket, and the brisket was nah. But
it's not a place I would go for brisket.
Your fish tacos were very good.
Not a place I would go for brisket.
Well, I wasn't thinking that, but he's like, "Oh, our smoker stuff is really good," and he kind of talked me into it.
But Ryan was a great waiter. I would definitely recommend seeing him. And we had a great little birthday dinner with our friend Donna, and we had a little Publix cake. As a matter of, when we got home, I'm actually considering having some Publix cake myself right now. And we went to Sanibel. I got to tell you guys, we met the director of Sanibel, super nice guy. Actually, talked to us for a while.
The director of Sanibel?
Not Sanibel, of Ding Darling. So Ding Darling, if you haven't been to Sanibel, if you're not a Floridian, Sanibel's beautiful. It's like if you combine Martha's Vineyard with Hawaii. Although we haven't been to Hawaii, so what the fuck do I know? Yeah. But it's like a massive wildlife refuge, and it was low tide yesterday. And I got to tell you, do you have the pictures? Can you pull any out?
I only have.
There was a gator. I have gone there at least once a month for the last 2 years, sometimes 3 times a week, and I've never seen a gator there before.
Yeah, they tell us where to go.
There were spoonbills. There were hundreds and hundreds of birds. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I got to go with my friends, and we got to check it out. We made some friends, horrified some people, I'm sure. And it was a great time. And then, of course, coming off fucking Sanibel. So I thought that there was an accident or something. Yeah, but
it's like one lane out to get off.
So, of course, there's only one way to get off. It's the bridge. And right now it's down to 2 lanes. And I think it's actually 2 lanes at some point.
It's one lane each way. Yeah.
Now, but they it was like Cape traffic on a holiday weekend. It took us 2 hours to get off fucking Sanibel.
Yep.
And I think, and people were getting out of their cars to pee, and it was really funny. And so there's not a lot of ways to get out of there. So if you're going to Sanibel, make your point of not trying to leave between 4 and 6, because that's every house there. I was looking at real estate on Sanibel. Every house, every business is needed work. So it's all like construction workers.
They got hit bad by that hurricane.
And, it's been a year and a half, and it's been a year and a half, and they're still recovering. But the island looks much better. Definitely go and support with your tourism dollars.
Absolutely.
Just, maybe stay for supper and leave a little later on, so you don't have to sit in that fucking gridlock.
That's right.
So we did that. That was a good time. And then, of course, our friend Donna had a birthday, and she's a beautiful and amazing person. We're so excited to have her visiting. And I bought binoculars so we could go to Sanibel this week and look at the fancy fucking birds, because that's what we call them, fancy fucking birds.
Because we don't know what their real name is. We know a couple of them, but there's so many
yard chickens.
There's no such bird as a yard chicken.
Yeah, my friend Christina was talking about, do you guys have yard chickens? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, these white birds with like the long beaks. And I'm like,
those are
ibis?
Ibis.
She said, no, these aren't ibis. These are, I know what an ibis is. These are other birds. I think she was confusing them with like a crane or whatever.
Maybe.
And so she goes to her husband. She goes, what is it called? And she goes, an ibis. She goes, I still like yard chickens. So fucking yard chickens it is. Because we're the kind of friends who are going to support you, even if you're insane.
And a sloth is a dirt bear.
Oh, yeah. Another friend can't remember the name of a sloth. She calls it a dirt bear. So we call sloths dirt bears.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you a dirt bear tonight.
Oh, yes, you are. Because I'm going to be dirty.
Are you fucking kidding? We're going to eat some cake and we're going to fall asleep.
Yeah, probably. I'm freezing. I would like to wrap this up because it's 56 degrees here in Florida.
Fuck this weather.
And all right. Sitting outside, poolside.
Frantically cleaning our house.
They're back.
Again?
Yeah, I don't know what
cleaning everything. I'm just going to invite them down like all the time instead of hiring a cleaning lady. I'm going to use my credit card points to fly my friends down. Then I get to visit my friends and to clean house.
Very nice.
Good times. They flew themselves down, but most of our friends, everybody flies themselves down. I fly Zach down once a year.
The boys we fly down.
We fly the boys down. I fly Zach down once a year. But everybody else
that was your
on their
agreement.
Own. But if
I'm going to move, but you're going to agree to come down once a year.
But if I could get, if I could kill 2 birds with one stone, not have to hire a cleaning lady.
Yeah, no, that's
I'd sacrifice.
Money well spent
I'd sacrifice some credit card points for that. Y'all know how I feel about my points. So gratitude. So we're thankful for the people that watch the podcast. Stephen, welcome to your first time. And it was great to see you as always. Yep.
Tom's always a pleasure.
No more in his house. We love all the people that support the podcast. Of course, when you comment, like, share, you follow us on any of our socials, it helps us. And if you follow us on our socials, we follow back, because that's the kind of awesome people we are. I'd like to think. I'm thankful for you.
Oh, I'm thankful for you as well. every day.
Have you been drinking?
I did have a little frozen lemonade thingy with dinner.
You should have had a hot lemonade thingy with dinner.
Oh, I know I should have. I am thankful that inside it's probably not as cold as it is outside.
Could
I'm
be.
thankful for that. I'm thankful I had a bunch of work to do today. I was thankful that I didn't strangle anybody.
Shout out to Bruce.
No, there was just a lot going on. I had a bunch of stuff all do at the same time, but I'm thankful that I have the work. I'd be even more thankful if I got paid for that work. So let's see how that goes in the next few days.
And you're working on a couple of other projects.
Yeah, I got a couple new clients, so working on that as well. So it's kind of a busy time.
Busy, but the revenue, not so much. But it'll work out. The revenue's, the money's coming. It's going to be more money that we know what to do with. And we bought a lottery ticket tonight.
We did.
We're going to win.
Yeah.
And then Doug's going to be like, fuck you guys. I'm not doing any work. I'm going to go.
No, I would not say that. These people have been good to me. And
they've been good to you by not paying you?
Well, not that part. But the people I work with are good to me. That's good.
We're going to win the lottery tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to take Doug's laptop and throw it in the pool. And he's never going to be able to work again. We're going to have lots of fun.
And I'll never be able to put out my album. Because it's also on.
Is it backed up on anything?
Most of it backed up. God! I haven't backed up. I don't have everything backed up.
You should have everything backed up.
Everything backed up.
You should go inside right now and back everything up.
Maybe.
Okay, so gratitude. I'm grateful that we got a little break from the heat, but maybe a little break from the heat was nice.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for fun times with friends that make us laugh.
Yep. I'm thankful it didn't snow here like it did in Massachusetts today.
I'm thankful I am no longer a 22-year-old who would be dumb enough to fall for a man in a dome. Although I was pretty fucking stupid when I was that age.
Well, I'm also thankful for knowing the man in the dome because he brings us lots of fodder, and
I am grateful for knowing my friend in the dome.
And it's always nice to know somebody that does that.
I am thankful for my friend that lives in the dome.
Oh, I know you are. I know,
but I worry about him, and he seems to be getting a little weirder in his old age, and I'm worried. I'm concerned. And I also my concern is more like that's not a world I want for my daughters. I want
to shut that off. Oh, there it is.
I am thankful for a delightful burger at dinner tonight. I'm thankful that our friends bought us dinner tonight. Yep. Thank you, friends, for feeding us.
Yeah.
Doug got out of cooking again today.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for being able to surprise you in some small way by giving you binoculars.
Binoculars that I
didn't know you wanted.
Well, we're gonna go down there. We're gonna use them.
Fucking birds.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna turn them around and pretend that you're very far away.
I'm thankful that we learned today that aloe vera needs to come inside in this weather.
Aloe vera is good to 55. Right now it's 56. So just cool your jets.
That's a story.
What we have going.
Just so you know, Doug questions everything I say to him.
No, I actually looked it up because I didn't even think of it until she brought it up.
Everything I say to him, doesn't believe a word of it. Has to look it up.
Oh, it's not that I didn't believe you. You're like, oh, you bring on a
does this happen? Point. Does this happen on a daily basis?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Do I tell you that it hurts my feelings?
Yes, you do.
I
apologize that I hurt your feelings, and I continue to do it. I don't know. Maybe
at least we're acknowledging it. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that you acknowledge that you have been doing it.
I'll appreciate when you are feeling better about it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah,
because I'd like to feel like I'm loved and respected.
Oh, that's my job as a husband.
I'd like to think so. So what are you thankful for?
I talked about the work stuff. I talked about the burger was lovely. The wait staff was great. The fact that we have a place that we have a go-to burger at. And burgers are important, people. You need a go-to burger
I can tell you, I'd rather go to like a local place like Laney Burger, Keg and Cow that are locally owned, but their burgers disappoint.
Not as good. They're good, but they're not as good. They're not.
And I'm thankful that I live in a country where my biggest problem is
where you get your burger.
Where I get my burger. And that's not really my biggest problem, but it's something that we're able to focus on. I do want to just give one quick shout out. I had actually asked about Huddy had reached out to me and asked me about boat charters, fishing charters in our area because he had a friend that was coming down here, wanted to go fishing. And so I had a lot of small business entrepreneurs reach out to me, and I just want to give them a shout out for that. So Southwest Florida Captain TJ's Captain Jay's Fishing, they reached out to me to ask about fishing trips. And so that, I may not know them, but I think that they could be helpful. Also, Adventure Charters out of Cape Coral. Shout out to Yarel. John Reed reached out to me, and he talked Locked In Fishing Charters. And Kevin Alley shouted out, and he talked to me about South Florida Outfitters. He's a owner operator. And that's about it. But anyway, I just wanted to shout out to the small businesses. I'd love to go on a fishing charter, but I don't really have any money. But if you guys are looking to sponsor something, you want to have us on the podcast, or you want to do a podcast from your fishing charter, I'd love to fucking do that and plug you guys. I'd be happy to do it. Although I don't know if I want to bring the good laptop on the fishing boat. If we win the lottery tonight, we will.
Sword pokes through the screen.
That would be one hell of a way to go. So anyway, we're thankful for all you guys.
Yes,
as always,
indeed.
We love
Thanks
you.
for watching. We
probably see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Thursday. It will be 1:50.
It will be 1:50. Yeah.
Anyway, we love you guys, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.